This was probably about a month or two ago, I would say, where you mentioned that Asia is a good place to invest in. So Barbara's wanting to know if there's any specific sectors you think will do well over time in the next few years.
Food production and medical in Asia, and basic manufacturing, but food production and medicine are the two real big areas, key areas that I see that Asia is really going to need, and it needs it now. And there's going to be a big shift as the Asians get richer and richer. They can afford better medical care. You can see it in places like Thailand, Malaysia, and to some extent Korea. And that Korea's a weird place. You're in the major cities, and you think it's a really first world modern country. Then you get out into the countryside, and you're like, "Holy fuck! If I could step back in time." It's not an even spread in Korea. Even some parts of Japan are a bit weird, because we've all got this version of Korea as being some sort of Japan-like-esque modern economy, but it's really split. So yeah, a long story short, I suppose, is medicine and food production. And when I say food production, I don't mean traditional farming methods. I mean things like multi-use land, where you're getting 3 or 4 different crops all working together, using like those food towers that I had, and creating food production centres, vertical grow houses, and that sort of stuff. Fish farming in a better way, fish, prawn farming. What else? What else is there? Raising cattle in a more efficient way, and that sort of stuff. If you go to the Western Asia, so we're talking the Stan sort of countries, huge grazing opportunities out there. They've got, if you took the rain belt in Australia, and even the grain belt from WA and the Western districts of New South Wales, that Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, that whole area there, even over as far as Afghanistan and that, has some very fertile ground. It's just that it's been underdeveloped. It sort of was the food bowl for Russia. Russia hardly produced anything apart from misery and oil, and petrochemicals in the actual Russia part. The rest of the food and everything was grown in all the other parts, and most of the technology came out of the other parts of the USSR. So that's why Ukraine had some really good technical IP people and that sort of stuff.